Hello folks, today I'll be describing the rules, regulations, and information about accessible parking permits. So what is the Accessible Parking Permit Program? Accessible parking is governed by the Motor Vehicle Act, which defines a person with a disability as someone whose mobility is limited due to a permanent or temporary condition that makes walking difficult or impossible. Through the RCD Accessible Parking Permit Program, valid permit holders can park in designated accessible spaces throughout British Columbia, across Canada, or even internationally. Under the rules of use of the Accessible Parking Permit Program in BC, the permit is designed to accompany the eligible holder and can be used in any vehicle. This means that the individuals with mobility-related disabilities can benefit from a permit even if they do not own a vehicle or are no longer driving. Regarding who is eligible for the permit, permits are issued based on a physician's recommendation and are available to anyone with a permanent or temporary mobility limitation if they meet one or more of the following criteria. If the applicant cannot walk any distance without assistance from another person or mobility aid, the applicant cannot walk 100 meters without risk to their health, the applicant has a disability affecting mobility and walking specifically, or the individual who is blind or has safety concerns may also be considered eligible. How do you apply for a parking permit? If you have mobility limitations and wish to apply for a parking permit, you must obtain a parking permit application form from the RCD website or request one to be mailed in to you. Here's an example of our current parking permit application. Please include your first and last name, mailing address, gender, date of birth, phone number, and your email if you'd like to reach out to you regarding your parking permit. Please let us know if you have had a BC parking permit before as well. We require certification from a medical professional with a valid MSP number on the application form. They must fill out all sections of this part of the form as shown on the slide. Please ensure that they sign and list their information in the red section on the slide. This includes their signature, name, MSP number, phone number, date of assessment, and a stamp. Here is the payment information on your application form. Currently, the processing fee is $31, though it is subject to change. You can also include a donation with your processing fee, which is always appreciated. If you're sending the parking permit application to us in the mail, you must include a check or your credit card information, as we don't accept cash in the mail or manual debit card entry. If you come in person, we take any form of payment. Please review the rules of use for BC parking permit, which is listed on the application and also on the slide. These are the rules on the form that you must read. You need a referral from your doctor, which is required for all parking permit applications, and you must meet the eligibility criteria. Only one permit will be issued per applicant. Permits for permanent disabilities must be renewed every 3 years. Temporary permits are valid for a maximum of 12 months, with the duration determined by your physician. RCD reserves the right to review and rescind your permit if any information provided is inaccurate or if you violate the program's rules. This slide shows the signature and declaration section for the parking permit application form. Please make sure the person who is signing is the person who qualifies for the permit. If the person who qualifies for the permit cannot sign on their own behalf, you may sign for them if you are their power of attorney or legal guardian. If there is no signature on the application, we will be unable to process it until the application is signed. Highlighted on the slide is a section to check if you are the power of attorney. This is a document that appoints another person to deal with your business and property and to make financial and legal decisions for you. If you have signing on your behalf, they need to include the proper documentation proving their POA status, which needs to be included with the parking permit application if they're signing on your behalf. You may also hear the term representation agreement. This is a contract allowing a representative to act on behalf of an individual for financial, legal, personal care, and healthcare decisions if the individual is unable to do so. This person, if signing on your behalf, must also provide proof of this agreement with the application. What is the duration of the parking permit? There are two types of parking permits for people with disabilities. There is the permanent parking permit, which is valid for 3 years and renewable without the need to go back to the doctor. And there's a temporary parking permit, which is valid for 1 month up till 12 months, and it's not renewable. If an extension is needed, you must reapply and go back to the doctor for their signature and approval. The section in red on the slide needs to be filled out by the signing physician. Doctors will decide whether you receive a permanent permit or a temporary one. For temporary permits, they will last 1, 3, 6, 9, or 12 months from the date of assessment. That means if you were to see a doctor on January 1st of 2025 and get assessed as needing a 12-month temporary permit, the permit will last until January 1st of 2026, no matter what date you turn the application into RCD. How to use an accessible parking permit. Permits should be displayed by hanging them from the rear view mirror with the registration number and expiration date facing outwards. If you can't reach the rear view mirror, you can place the permit on the dash with the registration details facing up. Permits should only be displayed when the vehicle is parked. You will also receive a wallet card to confirm that you are a valid permit holder. Permit holders may park in accessible spaces only when the permit is clearly displayed. Only the permit holder is authorized to use the permit. Lending it to others may result in cancellation. Anyone who helps a person with a disability to run errands cannot park in the designated stalls if the person with a disability remains in the vehicle. This is an abuse of the privileges that are given to you when you receive a parking permit. If you move, please tell us your new address and phone number so we can remind you of your renewal time. You should return your expired parking permit to RCD by discarding or shredding, cutting it up. Parking permits expire at the end of the month of expiration. So if it says on your parking permit it expires in October of 2024, it will expire on October 31st of 2024. Lost or stolen permits can be replaced, but will need to be purchased for the prices listed in the cost section above. So right now it will be $31 for a replacement. Regarding the parking permit expiration, renewal, and replacement, parking permits expire at the end of the month indicated on the permit. If your permit has expired, it is no longer valid. Lost or stolen permits can be replaced for a fee as outlined in the cost section. Please contact us at 604-232-2404 for guidance on renewing your permit. For permanent permit holders, you may renew the parking permit within 24 months of expiration. After 24 months, a new application is required. For temporary permit holders, you must see your doctor and submit a new application if medical professionals deem it necessary. For the renewal process for the permanent parking permits, RCD will send a renewal form about 1 month before your permit expires. This applies to all permanent permit holders. Once you receive your renewal notice, you can renew your permit online, over the phone, or by mailing the completed form into RCD. A processing fee of $31 applies. You can use the RCD Accessible Parking Permit online portal to update your contact information or renew your permit. To renew the permit online, please go to rcdrichmondapp.ca, where you will need your user ID, date of birth, the last 4 digits of the phone number you used to register with RCD, and then you should be able to renew your permit online. Then just pay the renewal fee by the payment options available, and you will be able to receive your permit. To renew or turn in your parking permit application, you can come in person to drop it off in Lansdowne Mall from 10 to 4:30, Monday through Friday, in the mail to our address, by email to parkingpermit@rcdrichmond.org, or by fax. All of these methods will be listed on the application in the top right corner. If your permit is lost, please notify us right away. And if you would like to request a replacement, please fill out the replacement declaration form on our website. A processing fee of $31 will still apply. You must also declare that if you find the lost permit, you will return it or shred it, as it becomes invalid once reported lost. Any permit holder using a permit that has been reported lost is at risk of getting a ticket or being towed, as the permit is no longer valid. If your permit is stolen, notify us and contact the police to report the theft. The police will ask you for your permit number and personal identification number, which can be found on your wallet card. You will receive an incident number to include with your request for the replacement permit. If you visit British Columbia with a valid parking permit from your home country, agreements allow you to enjoy similar rights and privileges here. Please contact us with the details of your trip, and we can issue a temporary permit recognized in BC. To obtain this temporary permit, you must present official documentation from the issuing agency in your country. This information is needed to help confirm the validity of your parking permit from your home country. There will be a processing fee of 31 Canadian dollars. As more background into this rule, the European Conference of Ministers of Transport, or the ECMT, created a resolution called Resolution 97-4, ensuring that all member countries grant the same parking concessions to people with disabilities as they do for their own nationals. These concessions usually allow special parking in areas reserved for people with disabilities, or allow longer parking periods or exemptions from charges. This resolution was updated and extended in scope in 1997. In addition to all ECMT member countries, this resolution now applies to the ECMT associated countries, which are Australia, Canada, Japan, Korea, New Zealand, and the US. This means that motorists using parking permits from all ECMT member and associate countries have the right to the same parking concessions as nationals in all ECMT countries. The only condition is the vehicle must display a badge showing the international wheelchair symbol. Please reach out to us at our phone number 604-232-2404 if you have any questions. Since 1985, the RCD has been committed to empowering people of all abilities to participate with dignity and confidence in their community and achieve independence to their fullest capabilities through a friendly environment, which provides information, resources, training, and support while increasing public awareness and promoting universal accessibility. The RCD is a grassroots organization run by people with disabilities for people with disabilities. Every year, around 30,000 Canadians with disabilities, their families, communities, and stakeholders benefit from our support and services across the Lower Mainland. You can support the work of the RCD by giving an online donation today. We have 4 methods of making a donation online, or you can always come in person. Your contribution, no matter the size, will be greatly appreciated. Please reach out to us at our phone number 604-232-2404 if you have any questions.